Get started in about 5 minutes. Something. Mambo. Abariyako. Missouri? How's everybody doing? All right. Welcome to Based Africa. Welcome everybody. Come on in, gather around. We're gonna get started now. Really excited for everybody to be here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So my name's Tom. I'm part of the Based team. I'm gonna introduce Jesse in a couple minutes and we'll do some different fun things tonight. Really excited to see all these Based builders out here. So yeah, come on, gather around guys, we're gonna get started. Alright, so I thought it would be a fun way to get started. Show of hands, so put your hands up, if in the last week you did something on chain. Who's done something on chain in the last week? Raise your hand. Missouri Sana. Nice. Very cool. Alright. Alright, now we'll do another one. Raise your hand if in the last month you built something on chain. Who here has been building on chain? Show of hands. Let's see your hands. Alright. Very based. Alright. Come on in guys, come on. We're gonna get started in just a couple minutes here. We're gonna get started. This is fun. Alright. So show of hands. Who this year, so we did 1 week, we did 1 month, now we're going to do this year. Who this year has seen something cool on base? Let's see, show of hands. Well, all year, I should see everybody's hand. Alright, that's very based, Missouri-sana. Alright, so thank you everybody for coming. We're going to get into it. We got a great evening planned for y'all. Was able to connect with a bunch of you right up front. A lot of people building a lot of great things. Can't wait to share more. I'll introduce Jesse. He's going to come up, get things started. We've got a couple nice talks. We're going to be chatting with builders. Of course, we're going to be sharing the winners for the Based Around the World, Based Africa Build-a-thon. Very difficult for the judges to choose because there were so many Based projects. But without further ado, let me introduce Jesse up to the stage. We're going to get it going for Based Africa tonight. Let's hear a round of applause.
Hello, everybody. If you can hear me in the back, say Based. One more time. If you can hear me in the back, say Based. Oh my God, what was that? Like an earthquake? I was not prepared for that sound effect. Hey everybody, if you don't know me, I'm Jesse. I'm so excited to be here. This is really, my heart feels like it's bursting. If y'all don't know, this is my third time to Nairobi. My older brother and sister-in-law and now my little nephew live in Nairobi. So yeah, right there up in the front, they got a crew. And so it feels so special to be here. Yesterday we went on a long run in Karura. We cooked some food, we hung out, played with the little baby, and it felt like being at home. And that wasn't just that my brother and sibling was here. It's also that over the last 9 months, the level of energy and passion and love that has shown up on base from Nairobi, from Kenya, from Nigeria, from Africa has made me feel at home. And so first off, I just want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you for being based. Thank you for showing up on a Monday night and being here. Woo! And if you don't know it, we've been running this thing called Based Around the World for the last month or so, where every part of the world, we have Africa, we have Latin America, we have Southeast Asia, we have India, has been coming on chain and building. And the energy from Africa and from Kenya has been unparalleled. Unparalleled. And it hasn't just been this year, but in the last 3 weeks, I think we had 750 builders sign up. We had like 280 projects submitted. It was more than double in every other region. And that's been building on a lot of momentum over the last year. We have a ton of incredible teams building on base. In like 6 months, we've had 35 meetups hosted in different cities and countries around the continent. And then every single day there are more and more real world use cases. People doing payments, people posting their content on social, people creating, people earning in new ways, and seeing that this on-chain economy can benefit them in new ways. And the most important part, the most exciting part about that for me has been all of the people. Like I look around this room and I can see people who I haven't met in person, but in the last 6 months I've seen them on TikTok, I've seen them on Instagram, I've seen them on Twitter, I've seen them on Warpcast, I've seen them in their Twitter DMs, I've seen them on Telegram, and they've been organizing, they've been building, they've been bringing people on chain. And they've been doing that because they believe in a better future. They believe in a future where we're building an economy that's by the people and for the people. And I want to talk for a second about that. I say this word on-chain. And you all are here because at some point you stepped into a place where someone said crypto or Web3 or blockchain or on-chain, and you opted into something new. And when you opted into something new, we like to think about that you opted into a new version of the internet. Because the internet today is broken. It's broken because a small number of corporations have an outsized influence on who gets to say what. It's broken because depending on what phone you have, you get access to different apps. You get access to different financial services. It's broken because if you're a creator and you put your content on the internet, on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, you make less than 5% of the value, and those corporations make 95% of the value. It's broken because we live in a system and we build in a system that's controlled by them, and we're just in a walled garden. And on-chain is the opportunity for us to build a new internet, a better internet. An internet that puts the power back in the hands of the people. Where if you can build an app and it will be available to everyone, everywhere, no matter what phone they have, no matter where they were born, no matter where they live. Where if you can create it on a platform where you make 90% of the profit. And where they can't deplatform you or shut you down because they don't believe what you believe in. And it's an internet where all of us get to set the rules, because all of us are building it, all of us are controlling it, and all of us are bringing the creativity to this internet that makes it what it is. And That's the internet that we're proud to be building. And that's what base is. When we talk about base, and when we talk about building on base, and when all of you and all of us show up all around the world to build on base, what we are trying to do is we are trying to build a new economy, a global economy that increases innovation, creativity, and freedom, and that brings the entire world on chain. Billions of people, millions of builders, trillions of dollars of assets into a new economy that works better for us. And we're doing it by making it really easy, really cheap, so you can pay anyone or you can accept payments from anyone instantly for free, totally around the world. We're doing it by making it a vibrant economy, where all of us are the people who are making it what it is, who are building the apps, who are creating the content, who are making that engine spin. And we're building it by making it open and permissionless. So no one company, no one country, no one person can control what happens in that economy. But all of us get to participate. And it's been a pretty good 2024. Like, if people have been paying attention, have you guys heard about Base in 2024? Seeing some nodding heads. There's one clap from Tom, obligatory. It's been a really good 2024. Literally a year ago, Base didn't exist. There was 0 on Base. Today, we've had people earn $26 million. Builders have earned $26 million on Base. We've had creators earn $2 million on Base. We've had now more than 6 million transactions happening every single day. A year ago, it was 0. And there's more than $8 billion that have moved into the Base economy that all of us are now getting to build for, getting to build with, and getting to grow alongside. And it hasn't just been in the numbers. We've done a lot of stuff that's cool too. We launched base names. Raise your hand if you have a base name. Okay, we got some people with base names, let's go. You'll get a free base name just by being here. So if you got the NFT, you can get the base name for free. We did On-Chain Summer. Raise your hand if you did something in On-Chain Summer, built something. Seeing some more waved hands. Yeah, we're getting some good penetration there. We grew to now having Base be the largest layer 2 in the world. Where again, we were 0 a year ago. And thanks to all of you, Base is now the largest layer 2 in the world. And we're just getting started. Like, we are going to bring the entire world on chain. And we're going to build a new global economy. And we are at the very beginning of it. And really in the last 6 months, it feels like we're accelerating. And so I put this chart up a bunch, but every time I put the chart, when I started it, this dot was like over here. And now we're here. And it's because the technology has gotten to a point where we have a fast, cheap place to build. We have easy-to-use wallets. We have really powerful internet identity, which makes it possible for all of us, all of y'all, to build the apps that will bring millions of Kenyans on chain, that will bring millions of Nigerians, millions of Zambians, millions of Americans, and billions of people all around the world in this incredible growth curve where we take all the people who've been building the internet today, who've built those centralized platforms, and we show them actually, it's much better when you build on chain. And actually, if you live your life on chain, you're going to earn more money, you're going to be more connected to your friends, you're going to have a better life. And the only way we can do that is with all of you. Now wait. Yeah, there we go. Close. Time. Really, it's the only way we can do it with all of you. Because it's not something that one company can do, it's not something that one person can do. It takes all of us to build this economy that's going to be open, that's going to be decentralized, that's going to be built by the people and built for the people. And so let's look ahead. We're near the end of 2024 now. It's been a heck of a year. But it's just the beginning. We like to say on the team, it's still day one. So what's coming in 2025? The first thing, the first thing is that we're going to keep making the base economy work for everyone, everywhere. And what this means for me, and particularly what it means for me in Africa and in Kenya, is making it so that anyone can on-ramp and off-ramp into the on-chain economy at very low costs. And making it so that when people come into the on-chain economy, they actually have access to their local currencies as well as other stablecoins like the dollar. And so today, Base has more stablecoins than any other chain economy, but in the coming months, we're going to be launching a Kenyan shilling stablecoin that's issued by a Kenyan company, so that Kenyans can come on chain and have their native currency here and save in Kenyan shillings. We're going to issue a Nigerian naira on chain. And we're not going to stop there. We are going to, over the next 6 months, we're going to make it so the top 50 currencies in the world are all on chain, all with easy, ideally one-to-one on-ramps. So coming on chain isn't this scary thing that scares people where you have to change your whole worldview about money. Instead, you can come on chain, you can use on-chain apps, and it's going to feel like M-Pesa, except it's going to be 10 times cheaper, it's going to be 10 times faster, and it's going to connect with everyone else in the world. Because we're all going to be building a global on-chain economy that all of us can benefit. One flag on that, if you are working on a stablecoin project, scan the QR code, get in touch. If you're issuing a Kenyan shilling, if you're issuing a naira, if you're issuing another currency from another African continent country, we would love to be in touch with you. We're trying to support as many local stablecoins as we possibly can, because we believe that local stablecoins are going to be one of the most critical unlocks for bringing the world on chain and ensuring that countries retain their sovereignty and retain their ability to have their own economic cycles. So that's the first thing we're doing in 2025. The second thing we're doing in 2025 is we're making it really, really easy for developers to build apps. This is with things like base names, where you just have an on-chain identity that tells you exactly who your users are. So you can message them, you can get in touch with them, you can learn about them. This is with things like the Smart Wallet, which handles all of the complexity of on-ramps, of bridging, of cross-chain transactions. All you do is integrate one SDK and your app is built. And it's things like with on-chain kit, which I just walked through a demo that a builder in Kenya, in Nairobi, built. It was all built using on-chain kit, and in 1 minute he showed me how you could connect your smart wallet, put in your M-Pesa phone number, it would text you, you put in your M-Pesa pin, and you will instantly on-ramp money. That's crazy! And that was all built using the smart wallet, using the on-chain kit, and it was built in the last 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, he built a product that could bring millions of new people on-chain by connecting the off-chain world to the on-chain world. And so in 2025, we're going to be continuing to invest in those tools that make it easy for anyone to build on-chain. So you can go from zero and never having built something to writing your first lines of code, deploying your first smart contract, and shipping a product that changes people's lives in weeks, not years. I just talked about the Smart Wallet. It's going to get better. It's going to be easy. It's awesome. If you haven't checked out the Smart Wallet, the easiest way to think about it is we've taken all of the complexity of bringing users on chain for developers, and we've put it into just the Connect wallet flow. So you drop in one SDK, it handles on-ramping, it handles bridging, it handles cross-chain transactions, it handles all the security so users don't have to worry, and it makes it really, really easy for people to just be on-chain safely. And two more things we're going to do in 2025. One is we're just going to keep scaling the crap out of Base so that everyone can come on chain. If you haven't seen us, every week we're scaling Base because our goal is to keep transactions down below 1 cent and make them so they all execute in less than 1 second. That's what we've seen in the data is a key threshold for people who are coming on chain. They don't want to wait more than a second, and they don't want to pay more than 1 second. And then the last thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be investing in tools and products for creators. Because what we see is that in the existing off-chain world, creators are getting the short end of the stick. They're bringing all this creativity to the internet, and then they're kind of getting scraps. Because people like Facebook and Instagram are running ads and taking all the profits while creators barely get paid. And so we're building with an entire ecosystem of folks like Sora and Rodeo and MoshiCamp and Dracula, a whole ecosystem of creative products. So if you're a content creator, or you're a video maker, or you're a musician, or you're whatever kind of artist that you love and care about, you can bring your work on chain, you can bring your creativity on chain, you can earn 10x more, you can more directly connect with the people who care about your work, and you can know that your work will be there forever. It will never be deplatformed, and it will never be taken off. It's permanent, it's immortal, as someone I was talking to today. And so with that, I guess my call to action for all of you is let's get building. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do because, like I said, this economy is not going to build itself. And it's not anything that I can build or my team can build or one company can build. It's going to require all of us to build it together. And as all of y'all are thinking about building that, I have 3 thoughts about how I would approach it. And these aren't probably that unfamiliar. If you've been building for a while, maybe they seem familiar. But sometimes in crypto, I feel like people can get a little bit lost in the noise. And so we like to really dumb it down. First thing, make something people want. If people don't want the product, if it's not providing value to someone that is an everyday person, go back to the drawing board. Because that's what matters. It's not about tokens, it's not about prices, it's about building products that change people's lives. And the best way to do that is to find a small number of people and build a product that they love and then take it from there. So that's the first thing. The second thing, build really dead simple experiences. Because it's no longer okay to be like, oh yeah, this is good for crypto, or this is good for on-chain. We are competing head to head with businesses that have spent hundreds of billions of dollars optimizing the crap out of apps so that all of us tap them. And we will not beat them. We will not build this economy and bring everyone into it unless we build better products that are simpler, that are easier to use, and that are better for the end creators, end users, end builders who are using them. And so invest in making those experiences incredibly simple. And then the last thing is bring new people on chain at every opportunity. Your friends, your family. You don't have to be technical to bring new people on chain. You don't have to be technical to be a builder. You can onboard your friends. You can onboard the random person on the street. The tools are finally good enough to give them a reason to come on chain, whether it's making more money, whether it's bringing their creativity on chain in a new way. All of us, if all of us onboard one person, and then all of those people onboard a few more people, we'll be at 1 million people before any of them. And so, if you want to get involved with Base, you can scan these QR codes. There's a ton more information here. That's right, that's where the QR code takes people. There's more information. You can also go to base.org. You can follow us on Base, on Twitter. And I'm really excited for the night. Just to give a quick overview, we're going to do a 15-minute cameo from my brother, who's here, who I love very much. We're going to have a little conversation on crypto and Adobe. Then we're going to do a builder panel with a bunch of incredible builders from across the continent. And then Tom's going to bring us home with prizes from the Build-a-thon. And we're going to have a bunch of food and drinks, and we're going to be here till 9 p.m. So with that, my last thing would be keep building and stay based. And if you don't know what it means to stay based, it means doing the right thing, even when it's hard. It means working hard, because it's not going to be easy to bring the world on track. It means being optimistic, because it's going to require all of us to believe in the future to build a better future. It means pushing boundaries with creativity. And finally, it means putting the team over the individual. It means working together. It means changing the world together, because we can accomplish so much more when all of us are together than we're alone. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for building our stage. And with that, Eli. And welcome Eli Pollock.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, we're gonna have I think like 15 minutes for this. I think we should just start. Some people probably know you here, but can you just say who you are and what you do?
First off, it's fantastic to have you here.
Thank you.
And it's fantastic to get to be here with all of you. I admit I actually don't make it to that many tech meetups. I've lived here for 8 years, but the energy here is really fantastic. My name's Eli. I'm first off Jess's brother, but I run a company called Apollo Agriculture, and our business is helping farmers make more money. So we've provided financing, products, an advisory to, these days, close to 500,000 farmers across Kenya and Zambia.
Woo!
Yeah.
First off, what's the average acreage of the farmers that you serve?
Average is 1.1 acres. Average customer is 51 years old, about 54% women. It's not your typical crypto demographic, not yet.
Not yet. And what, like you mentioned you've been here for 8 years. What brought you here? Like, you know, we were living together on the West Coast in California. You kind of picked up your whole life and you moved to Nairobi. Why?
So prior to founding Apollo, I helped build a company in the United States called the Climate Corporation. That company, we developed technology that provided customized recommendations to large-scale commercial farmers. And so we onboarded close to 80 million acres worth of farmers, and ultimately, actually, the company was acquired for about $1 billion in 2013. So it was a nice outcome. I think that what I was just struck by was the opportunity outside the U.S. In the U.S., you've got 20 PhDs, but your big goal is, can you help a farmer increase their production by 2%, 3%, 4%? Meanwhile, the average farmer across, say, Kenya or Nigeria or Zambia is producing between 10 and 20% of what a U.S. farmer is producing. So there's an opportunity not to help them gain 2, 3, 4%, but to help them double or triple or quadruple their production. So I was lucky enough, one of my co-founders is Kenyan, and so it made sense to start here, and so I moved here in 2016. Convinced my wife to move here in 2017, and we've been here since.
I love that. And maybe just digging into like that story of you guys like, living here, being here. What's your experience been living in Nairobi and building a company in Nairobi?
I mean, I think this is a fantastic place to live. Feel very blessed to get to live here. Had our first child here, so this is very much home. We actually tried at some point to leave, and spent a couple years half and half between here and Amsterdam, and just ended up back here because the quality of the community, the quality of the people is just so fantastic.
I love that. And tell me a little bit more about Apollo Agriculture. You guys are serving kind of average 1 acre. You have almost 500,000 farmers that you're serving. What does the company look like? What are some of the challenges that you guys are dealing with on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so, I mean, our typical customer doesn't have a bank account, certainly doesn't have access to financing, is often unable to, even if they had the money, access the high-quality farm inputs that they need to succeed. They don't have access to a great agronomic advisor guiding them on their farming practices, and so they know a lot. I mean, farmers, by nature of it being their job, are experts in many things, but our farmers don't have it easy. And so the typical customer pre-Apollo, say they're growing maize, maybe they're producing 4, 5, 6, 90 kilo bags an acre, and that's because they don't have access to the high quality farm products that they need or the financing to afford them. And so we're able to come in and partner with that farmer, help them access, first off, the financing that they need to invest, but not just the financing, also the high quality fertilizer, the high quality seed, the high quality crop protection, everything they need, and then bundled with that, the advisory that they need to invest in, double or triple their production.
That's awesome. When you guys are working with those farmers, like what are the typical outcomes that you guys are seeing in terms of the impact you're driving?
Yeah, I mean, we're typically able to see a customer when they invest in farm wealth. That means accessing the right farm inputs, managing their farm carefully, produce between 15 and 25 to 90 kilo bags per acre. So doubling to tripling depending on the area.
That's awesome. And I mean, are most of these farmers like subsistence farmers? Or are they selling the farm? I mean, like 1 acre is not a big farm.
I'd say that it's a total balance. I mean, we have half-acre farmers who are primarily producing maize to feed their family, and then we've got larger farmers who are doing a mixture. You know, I think that what we see is maybe less of a subsistence commercial distinction and more a question of, you know, the vibe or the attitude of the farmer. You have some farmers who, you know, they'd say, I may have 1 acre and 1 cow and 3 chickens today, but if I had access to the opportunity, you know, I'm building an agribusiness here, and I would have 10 acres and 100 head of cattle and 1,000 chickens. And you have other farmers who say, gosh, you know what, Like, what I want is to double my production so I can sell a bit more, pay for my kids to go to school, make sure there's food on the table for my family. And so I think we've developed an offering that's necessarily flexible to both those sort of super farmers, but also the folks who just want to do a bit better.
And crypto's not a part of your business today. What are, what's your perspective been on crypto for the last few years? What are some of the things that are maybe holding you guys back from using some of the new technologies that you're seeing?
So, I mean, our average customer is 51 years old, and 3 in 4 of all the farmers don't have smartphones. And of that 1 in 4 who do have a smartphone, I'd say about, again, 75% are using that more like a feature phone. So maybe a bit of WhatsApp, they're using it for phone calls, maybe some YouTube. And so when we look at this for our customers, we're thinking about not only how do you bring a customer on chain, but fundamentally how you bring them online. Customers are starting from a place where they are using M-Pesa. I mean, one of the amazing things about Kenya is just the widespread adoption of digital money. But maybe they have an agent that they can go talk to they say, hey, I need to make a payment of this amount to this, to this till number, and they're able to process that payment. And so there's a lot of just baseline digital literacy and comfort that we have to build into our product. I mean, we very much dream of the day where leave alone being able to move money around seamlessly, where our customer has a smartphone, where we can deliver them high quality agronomy content via video rather than in person or rather than over the phone. And so I think one of the first things we see is, yes, there is this big holy grail opportunity to say, let's not take the path that we took in other parts of the economy. Let's not go on chain first and then only later go online. Let's do that in one go. But I think it's nice to talk about that, but it's not a trivial problem. I think the second thing that we see that is both a profound and exciting opportunity. I mean, within this room already, there are people who are building things like cash in, cash out that'll work in rural areas, or an identity system that'll allow us to onboard our customers with a trusted digital identity. But often those pieces of infrastructure don't exist yet. And so we're already a company that does a lot. We onboard our customers, we have to sell to them directly in person, we provide them financing, we underwrite them with our credit models, we manage a network of retailers to make sure they get high quality product, we provide them with digital advisory. And so I think maybe we are the ones to also build the cash in, cash out via our retail networks. Maybe we are the ones to also build that digital identity, but I think we'd be that much more excited to be able to build on the infrastructure that the folks in this room are building, and that things like Face are already delivering.
Yeah, and I think that's both of those things are such real challenges, which is that there's still huge parts of the world, particularly older generations, where they're not yet online. And so figuring out how we can bridge the gap to still serve those folks and make it so that they can actually benefit from this new on-chain economy feels super, super important. And then B, I think kind of what you're getting at, I think back to that curve, it's like the infrastructure is still maturing, and it feels like we're close, but we still need a little bit more out-of-the-box tooling for businesses like y'all, so you can just kind of transplant it on. And be like, okay, now we're running on-chain rails, and it's going to be faster, cheaper, and easier for us to do that stuff. Right now, it's not quite that easy to convert it.
Yeah, and we're ready to do it. I mean, we have to manage a digital identity for our customers. We have to make sure that not only is there in Kenya their ID, a real ID that matches to IPRS, but that the person who's using the ID is the same person on the ID. And so there are all these elements that ultimately will put us in a position to help someone access and use a digital identity. But as you said, I think there's some pieces of infrastructure that we'd love to be able to plug into rather than build ourselves.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to take it a little bit more personal and just in the last few minutes try and get into some childhood stuff. What was your, or actually maybe not childhood, what's your experience been of me building Base for the last couple of years?
So, probably doesn't surprise anybody to know that Jesse's always been a hard worker. He cares a lot about work, and so I think at Coinbase, one of his previous roles was running consumer engineering. I think that was a role that he loved, but a couple of years back, made the decision that he wanted to explore something new. And so I think what I've been honored to get to see is this evolution from saying, okay, I'm going to step back and do something new. I know there's something big. Initially, it was about protocols. And to be able to watch this evolution of saying, there's something here, I'm not yet sure exactly what it is yet. And so I think over the last 18 months, being able to watch bass come into being and be really fun as your brother, both because, yeah, I mean, it's fun, it's cool, and I'm excited about the project, but also to see you sort of continue on this journey from, I know I want to work on something in crypto, I know it's going to be a Coinbase, I'm super excited about that, but I'm not sure what it is, to this is what it's going to be, and then starting to get, the acceleration at the beginning of that curve.
What was your earliest memory of like me as like builder, entrepreneur, something like that?
So I actually got married somewhat recently, and I have some prep for this question because I gave a wedding toast. There's a lot of good examples, but I think the first example the one I ended up with was Jesse built a very interesting business where he would buy old iPhones, jailbreak them, and then sell them on Craigslist. And he was doing that, I think he was probably like 10 or 11. So it was like early days iOS, but also
Okay. Oh, we're back. I love that. Yeah, I it's like iPhones from a young age.
All right, keep things moving. Come on in, everybody. We're gonna get going with our next panel in just a moment here. Wow, look at everybody. It's pretty exciting. How about that? Jesse's brother. You didn't expect that. 2 for 1. All right, everybody. We're staying based, keeping the evening moving. I want to do a little call and response, guys. What do you guys say? So, when I'm going to say something, you guys know call and response. When I say X, you say Y, all right? So, when I say stay, you say base. Stay. Stay. All right. When I say giga, you say gas. Giga. Giga. All right, one more. When I say on-chain, you say kit. On-chain. On-chain. That's right, you're going to stay based on-chain kit. And of course, we need 1 gig of gas per second scale to support all the billions of people that will be coming on-chain. So, I also want to take a photo. We're going to take a photo, everybody. So, from stage, everybody smile. Be very based. Be very based. All right, guys. Based on 3. 1, 2, 3. Based. Based on 3. All right. Exciting. Great. We'll try another one of those later too if we get everything here. So very exciting. We're gonna get to a panel now. So we're gonna be talking with a number of builders that are building amazing applications, experiences on chain, solving problems in ways just now becoming possible. So without further ado, let me introduce Jesse. He's going to share a little bit more about the builders, and we'll get into a really great builder panel for tonight. Come on in too, so you guys can hear us. All right, cheers.
walk-ups. Come on up. We're not going to do the walk-up intros. Here, let me actually, I'll sit here, y'all go over there. Come on up. Let's go. You got everyone? We got one more. Okay, thank you, Joku. Thanks everybody for being here. Can we get a round of applause again for everyone being here? Woo! Thanks all for being here. I'd love to just start. Can we just quickly do intros, name, what you're working on, what y'all do? And I'm Jesse, you already know me.
Hi guys, Edwin Kapo, I'm a software engineer and I'm a software researcher, founder of Vantigroup.com, and next video will on ATM Foundation.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Duncan Mutangi. I'm head of business development at Fonbank, as you can clearly see. Fonbank is an orchestration layer that bridges between mobile money or mobile payments and stable coins. I overlook across Africa, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Hi everyone, my name is Felix Macharia, CEO and co-founder at Katani Pay. We are an on-ramp, off-ramp crypto asset provider on the continent, focused on about 7 countries now, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Hi everyone, my name is Roger Taracha. I'm a senior engineering manager at Yellowcard. Yellowcard is the first licensed and largest on-ramp and off-ramp for stablecoins on the continent. We're in 20 African countries right now, so for any of your liquidity on-ramp, off-ramp needs, hit up Yellowcard. Yep.
Hi everyone, I'm Joko Emmanuel, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Metastable Labs. Metastable Labs is the company building Supermigrate and Liquid, and our goal is basically to make centralized finance more accessible and easy. Yeah, thank you.
I love it. Well, thank you all for being here. I want to start with an open-ended question, which is, we've talked a lot about on-chain from my perspective, from Base's perspective, but for y'all, why on-chain? And what are some of the use cases and impact that you're seeing in Kenya, in Nigeria, and elsewhere on the continent from this new technology platform?
Yeah, I think the way I think through blockchains in general is as a coordination layer, right? So if you think about, for example, stablecoin issue, stablecoins have found product market fit in Africa. All the people involved along that chain are human beings, right? So banks actually bank the dollars in Western banks. Those are human beings. Stablecoin issuers themselves are human beings, right? People on this side of the continent, distributors like PhoneBank, Yellowcard, Katani Pay are also human beings. But it creates this technology layer that helps all of us coordinate, right? It's transparent, it's cheap, it's affordable. All of us can agree on who owns what, on chain, right? So it opens quite a number of opportunities for businesses on the continent that face, many problems. And if you look at the continent in Africa, you're looking at 3 main challenges. One is payments fragmentation, which means all these countries have a payment system that's used by 98% of the population, but as entities, they have no incentive whatsoever to cooperate with each other. They're all in competition, which puts the end consumer, the end user, at a loss. And so today, the easiest way to send money to Joku in Nigeria is just do USDT on a blockchain, right? Or USDC on a blockchain, right? So as a coordination layer, it works very well for disparate payment systems that are very fragmented. Then you have dollar scarcity on the continent, right? So taking a crypto dollar in the US, taking dollars, putting them on chain, and then spreading them to frontier and emerging markets fills in a gap that was impossible to fill otherwise, right? So people can access these dollars, people can use it as an alternative, because all the dollars on the continent right now are being prioritized to pay back our dollar-denominated loans. That's the truth of the matter. And I think finally, there's this element of currency volatility and just having an out from that system. Again, Not an option that was there before the on-chain economy, definitely an option now. And I think that's why you're seeing an explosion of stablecoin and on-chain adoption.
Yeah, I'd like to add one of the reasons why it makes sense to build on-chain, especially for financial services, is there's a very massive gap in Africa in terms of financial infrastructure. And so, as Felix said, while 98% might have access to some form of financial services, it is not through their bank. So in Africa, not everyone has a bank account. So that's a very small percentage of people who do. The majority will probably have access to an alternative payment system like mobile money, M-Pesa. I had you mention the state before. And so how do you get financial services to people who don't have access to a bank account? Now, on-chain is helping us reach these services to the end consumer without relying on their banking services. And that's one thing Bank has been able to do very well, where we come to you and we leverage upon prepaid airtime. So airtime is like mobile credits that you put on your phone so that you can make a call, send SMS. And we are able to convert that anywhere in Africa into stablecoins. That means anyone on the continent can walk to an agent or walk to a shop, give some money, get some airtime, and exchange that for stablecoins. So we are completely bypassing traditional financial or banking infrastructure and bringing everyone on chain. Now, tying into something that Felix brought up, which is interoperability. Africa has, you imagine 54 countries, more than 40 different currencies. So doing trade here is really, really hard. We cannot trade seamlessly with Uganda, which is just next door. Not even to imagine about Nigeria from East to West Africa. So we are left to go seeking for dollars. And a few years back, 98% of all the transactions that went, for example, to the US, were going to the US to be routed back somewhere into Africa. So if we're going to send money to Nigeria or South Africa, we'll send to a bank in the UK or a bank in New York, and then they'll send it down to South Africa, which does not make sense. And thanks to on-chain, now we can leverage, networks like Base, bring all the value on-chain, move it across the entire world at a fraction of the cost, at a fraction of the time, and we are able to get financial services and trade moving across Africa. So if you ask me, financial inclusion, sparring trade is why on-chain on the continent.
Sure. I'd say why on-chain utility. We've had a few success stories. One being of a lady who was working for one of our colleagues. So our colleague works in South Africa. She's from, I believe, Malawi or Zimbabwe. And the only way to send cash home was to actually package the cash, put it to someone, put it on a bus, and send it back home. So you can imagine all the risk that comes with that. So he introduced her to Yellow Card. We have a product called Yellow Pay. So basically what we do is you make payments across borders. So you purchase USDT, sell it on chain, and then someone cashes it out, either bank, mobile money, and you get the equivalent in your local currency. So once we introduced her to that, she no longer sends her cash over the bus. So there's a lot of utility when it comes to cross-border payments or even sending cash. And then number two, when it comes to inflation, right? We have a couple of Nigerian colleagues. None of them is paid in Naira. They all receive their salary in USDT for obvious reasons. We all know how volatile the Naira is. So why on-chain? I'd say utility. Yeah.
The whole concept of on-chain adoption is really personal to me, and I basically spend a lot of time thinking about it. I mean, we're all from Africa, right? Like a continent with one of the fastest growing youth population. But then, we are cut off. We are basically cut out from global infrastructure. We basically don't have privacy, right? Our data is being misused, right? And even when it comes to social and basic infrastructure, having access to electricity or internet, right? It's very, very difficult. So there are the basic and social infrastructures are things that you need money to basically control or actually make better, right? But what on-chain adoption has actually done, or what on-chain has actually done, is that it gives us a level playing ground. We don't need to take permission from anyone to build a new financial. We don't need to take permission from anyone to actually basically concepts like we don't need to take permission from anyone to actually power that concept of economic freedom, right? And I think that's why on-chain adoption is basically important. And when you talk about economic freedom, there's an excerpt from Coinbase that I actually take very personal, and basically says that economic freedom is a necessary, if not sufficient, condition for human progress. And basically societies with greater economic freedom, they have higher GDP, higher life expectancy, less corruption, and the let's say the poorest 10% is actually are people that actually doing well in the economy. So for us in Africa, right, for the first time in history, we actually have the power to actually build our own stuff. We have the power to create our own economy. We don't have to wait for our government. So we basically use that to uplift ourselves, and then now take whatever we've gotten from that to empower our community and give back to our local communities, right? And we start investing in this social and basic infrastructure. And then you see that when you have these basic amenities, you see that productivity goes up 10x, right? And productivity going up 10x, it's in turn increasing the GDP of the economy. It's actually making the lives of people better. So for me, on-chain adoption it's actually more than finance. It's more than privacy. It's more than identity, right? It's actually making the lives of everyone in a particular place, or everyone around the world, everyone from Africa better. The lives of them, to actually get better. And that way we basically have a sustainable ecosystem and a sustainable continent and country that thrives on this on-chain economy, and people are actually getting benefits from it, right? And also now putting it back into local communities, and it now becomes a cycle where, because of the whole concept of the on-chain economy, everyone is basically powering each other and empowering each other. So for me, that's why on-chain adoption is personal. It's really a means to uplift the people of Africa.
Why blockchain is because we understand that we have this one concept of Web3 being fully yet we are already told why Web3, what we mean by Web3. So my approach is from the fundamentals of the technology itself, which is you have interoperability, as we say, but you are able to transfer your data across different partners, and when we talk of interoperability, I think it's also important to note that when you get on-chain, there are so many standards that make on-chain possible, make working on blockchain possible. So for me, why on-chain is really to see how do we bring live the power of 3.2, because my understanding of 3.2 is not blockchain, it's beyond blockchain. So we have machine learning, so we have because once you have your data on a platform and you want to unlock economic freedom, you should give the user the capability to port their data into different systems and use that data to make money, prosperity. So, and how we do it in Article is we ensure that the people farmer we have their profile within our platform, but they really own that data. And that's something that we're really passionate about, because when you work with self-sovereign identity, which ensures that you have full control and access over your data, and that means if a farmer wants tomorrow, let's say, to go to Apollo, agriculture wants to come from Apollo, and maybe raise funds from ability to go to create a supermarket, they will be easy accepted. So they won't have to create 3 separate accounts. So we are approaching on-chain from an approach of where you really own your data. So and as Eli already put it, so where first understand who this farmer is, understand what's going on with the farm. So do I have 20 pigs, 3 cows, and maybe a quarter acre planted of a few crops? So what does that mean when you get on-chain? Because we can, I've always had this argument of let's not make on-chain only about finance, because you know, if you're going to get an African on chain just for finance, then you should also show them where to get the money. You know, because what money am I going to put on chain if I have no money? So I think we should also work from a fundamentals point where let's just face reality and say the building blocks have to be built. We can't work on fundamentals.
Yeah, I love that. And maybe just looking at the building blocks that have to be built, I'm curious what you all are seeing from on-chain builders. Like, how is it evolving the platform? What growth are you seeing? What's the energy look like from on-chain builders right now?
So right now, what we have been seeing, especially with the Ruby builders, with from different protocols and different platforms, is that people really want solutions. So what's been happening in Kenya, and most Kenyans here know about it, is we've had a movement to have change, and we realize that there's a lot of awareness of what blockchain is. So you find people saying, let's have base of relevant on chain. So that's awareness from like the general population, when I ask who is building. So there's an urge where the population is looking for solutions, but at the same time we have hackathons we've been having. It's just the builders, but closer, more locally, is having devs to build actual tools, and now evolving. So there's also another urge where devs really want to go beyond hackathons. So let's ask ourselves, what are the actual KPIs of this hackathon? So the KPIs for the chains or the KPIs for the developers? So who are we really working for? So if you put developers first, there's that really show. So there's been a maturity in terms of tooling, there's been a maturity in terms of communities, but devs now really want more. How do they convert these solutions to businesses? How do they convert these solutions to products? Who can they work with? So we are getting to another phase where it's just popping out everywhere.
Yeah, so from where we sit, we are seeing there's a lot of builders who for the first time are figuring out how to convert their local currency into some form of on-chain value. For example, stablecoin. So lots and lots of on and off ramps, which is great. And so because of proliferation of on and off ramps, what we've decided to do is to do some sort of liquidity aggregation and say, can we bring all these on and off ramp solutions into one API, and we can provide that to Coinbase. So for example, Fondbank does that for Coinbase Wallet, where we provide the orchestration between the multiple different on and off ramps in Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa. So there's so many of them. So we bring them together and we offer one sort of liquidity API for wallets. Now, what is driving builders in Africa is three use cases or real problems to solve. Now, someone mentioned money transfer. Sending money across Africa is very expensive. We may not just want to build blockchain and financial services, but this is the biggest kind of gap we have in Africa, and so there's going to be a lot of solutions in terms of finance. Sending money around Africa is one of the sort of fastest growing use cases. We had the cost of sending money from, say, for example, South Africa to Malawi at 7%, which is ridiculous. And so, thanks to networks like this of building on chain, we're able to bring that to below 3%. So that's the second use case. We're seeing a lot of builders coming specifically to address just money remittance, not much. And then beyond that, we're also seeing payments. So paying for goods and services. A lot of the goods is through commodities. So countries that trade with each other or people that trade with each other, they opt to use stable coins rather than going and trading in hard currency. And then beyond that, we also have just traders, really. People who just want to access some form of arbitrage online, make some money. As you obviously know, the biggest gap, or one of the challenges, the biggest challenge in Africa is earning opportunities for a lot of these young people. If you look in this room today, the average age I can guarantee is below 30, right? And so a lot of these people need opportunities to earn. So a lot of them are coming on chain
just to look for opportunities to earn rewards, earn incentives. They want to be, we built actually a learn to earn program where we teach you how to come online on chain, become a B2B trader, offer some liquidity, find some ways to stake, find some ways to earn. So earning is one of the, I would say, if not financial services, earning opportunities is one of the biggest drivers.
Yeah, and maybe just to, I think we want to go beyond the case, the charity use case for Africa. And I want to say that builders in Africa are not the same, right? So I will divide them into three major groups, which is you have builders who are not building for Africa, they're building for the world from Africa, right? So Joku is a very good example of somebody who's building for the world. It's just that it happens to be from the continent, right? And he cares about issues around the continent. I will put Yele by the most in the same category, which is someone who's building on board that can work in Latin America, that can work in Southeast Asia. They're building for the world, they're just building for Africa. And there are a lot of developers right here. I get amazed every other time I go, to a meetup and I meet somebody who's working for OpenZeppelin, somebody who's working for Nevermind, somebody who's working in the cybersecurity team that's, some wallet infrastructure. So we have those kind of builders in the continent. And we want more of those builders in the continent, actually. The second group of builders are builders who are focused on finance use cases, and it's obvious why they're focused on finance use cases because of what we've talked about. We have real issues with unlocking economic opportunity on the continent, right? So like whether you're talking about people who are focused on micropayments, remittance, payroll, right? He makes a good point. We have a lot of on-ramp off-ramps. It's just that all these on-ramp off-ramps are dividing themselves across quite a number of use cases. And then you have people who are now very obsessed with non-finance use cases, right? And I'm excited about all these people who are looking at real-world asset tokenization, because we have resources on the continent, right? Carbon credits, minerals, blah, blah, blah. We have a lot of energy on the continent. So how can we use the energy that we have, whether it's geothermal, sun, wind, to power AI compute use cases, for example, on the continent. So I'm very excited around the non-financial. I think about to divide builders on the continent, I would say it's those three buckets that I will say.
Joku, and he kind of bucketed you into that first group, which is like living on the continent but building for the world. I'm curious, does that resonate with you? What are you seeing from those sorts of builders on the continent?
It makes a lot of sense, right? And I think that it's very important for us to have more of these kind of builders where we are not just building solutions for Africa, but Africa basically inspires the use cases that we actually work on, right? But then we don't just limit ourselves to Africa, but we actually build this for the world, because it's not only Africa that has most of the problems that we have. Look at Argentina, look at Southeast Asia. A lot of these countries have similar problems. So I would say for me that we need to see more builders, use Africa as an inspiration to think about these real world problems that crypto can solve and export it to the world, right? And they're saying that on-chain needs Africa, crypto needs Africa. So the ideas are actually here, right? And we now need to take those ideas, build it, and export it outside of Africa. Yeah.
Yeah. The submissions have been fantastic. I'll just speak to two things. I like how you broke down the different groups. So when it comes to financial products, I mentioned a specific area that really powers Africa, or maybe Kenya in particular, is microcredit and microlending. And I think there's a lot of innovation happening in that space. There's a lot of disruption happening, making loans really affordable for people and not chaining people to these loans that are really don't give them that financial freedom or economic freedom. So there are some people who are doing a fantastic job. Haraka Finance is one company that's doing a stellar job in that space. Then when it comes to the tokenization, I'm particularly passionate about farming, so thank you for what you're doing. There's another company, I forget the name, but they're doing tokenization for the supply chain management for avocado farming. So there's normally a lot of wastage that happens in that particular supply chain. So bringing that on chain brings a lot of trust, a lot of visibility to the process from when the product is on the farm until it gets to a plate. and it cuts out very predatory middlemen. So you find farmers really benefit, and it opens us up to the globe, right? So if you want to export your produce, or even just get funding or some form of injection to grow your business, provided it's on chain, provided all the information is there and there's trust, it opens up all these economic opportunities for us.
And shout out to Project Mocha, right, over there. Project Mocha, they actually own a farm and they produce coffee, and their coffee is very good.
Okay, we only have 5 minutes left. I want to ask, what's one thing that each of you would be really excited about to see on chain in 2025?
More identity use cases, so we understand that as much as we are saying we use Africa as an inspiration to build the world, which is like the best inspiration, because that means you will have a solution but you trust it. What I would see is that we have a lot of trust problems in Africa. So it's a low trust economy ecosystem. That's why you have a lot of corruption because people don't trust each other. So if we find a way to use blockchain to get trust solutions, so and for that actually being a get solution, so where you can verify who you are without giving up so much data, and actually have that verified if I'm getting a job remotely, I don't need to be filtered out by these HR systems because I don't fit into those universities in the program. So you can have tools or projects that help people get really African trust global. So we really have tools getting Western trust, global. So why can't we have a solution to make Africa trust global? So where we can have people attesting to each other, you can have so we really see identity use cases coming of age. There are some new solutions that are coming up that make it very easy to easily start a project without having to understand what's going on behind the scenes. So you can work on identity use cases, education certificates, you can look at large typing, you can look at just proving that you own an asset. That's for an individual. So it could be that I own a farm, or this farm owns a title deed, and that is being done by me. So if you can find a way and then get that information in chain, where that information could interact with your other information on another system, where this other system would be, let me get a loan, like a regular loan, or you can you can fractalize your farm in a way that this now gets to reality. So let's really take identity seriously because it's a really big problem and it gets overlooked. Yes, initially we will not really get to finance. So when we were starting an article, we were just about doing credit scoring, but then we realized, hey, here comes an opportunity to actually do micro lending. So and it's now into also another conversation which we are discussing which is how do we get to the point of organizing these funds, how do we get into liquidity, investing in these funds, but it all began from the point of identity. So if we really look at the fundamentals and just work on them, and right now it's like a first step to our identity to Africa, governments are aware, we have identity systems being things, so yeah.
I think the one thing that I really want to see online is a lot of the telco services. So I alluded to how we are able to convert airtime into stable coins. But when you think about telco services, they're still very jurisdiction, very geographic specific. So I have to get a SIM card that belongs to Airtel or Safaricom, and I can only use Safaricom services. I'm looking forward to telco services the same way you can access base anywhere in the world, and it is the same base, right? So if base is looking to issue SIM cards, we can talk about it.
Yeah, so I think for me it's more of the technology and what it does for us here on the continent. I think I'm excited about the whole move with account abstraction simply because you want to reduce the onboarding lift, right? So I mean, on our more farms, we deal with end users a lot, and just that heaviness of like writing down stuff and saving it, and it's too much for most users. So account abstraction making it easy for me to just use my email to register a wallet and move on. Right? The other thing will be cashless. I think that applies very much to micropayments and remittance use cases, and I'm biased about that data for you. And then of course, definitely on the continent is to see more regulatory clarity. I think the step that South Africa took in terms of regulation was the right one. And excited to see what Kenya comes out with the bill this year. And I'm sure like a lot of other countries will copy Kenya just because of the need in terms of.
Huge plus one. We need more regulatory clarity everywhere.
Definitely.
Cool. I have the same regulatory point. So for any regulators in the house, we're looking forward to that sandbox. I know it's being discussed. But that being said, what I'd like to see more on chain, two things. Number one, more seamless products and user experiences where we really abstract the complexity of blockchain and make it really seamless and easy for anyone to be able to use products on chain. Then number two, I know you mentioned it, but in our country, land registry, earlier this year we had a situation where people's title deeds disappeared and the government was like, oops. So if we can have a product like that for land registry, just to build that trust and to ensure that people's value doesn't get lost. Yeah.
I think like we all call that like the tech aspect of what we want to see on the chain next year. I think for me, it's more like the human side, right? And I basically want to see a world where we basically empower more builders from the continent to actually come on chain, and not just base, but like also people building on base. Coinbase and base has empowered you, so we actually have to then it's now on us to empower that builders, even the Web2 ecosystem or off-chain ecosystems, basically come and build on-chain. So I think that's very, very key, and that's one thing I really want to see, empowering more builders to actually come on-chain.
I love it. Well, we are exactly on time. Thank you all for being here. Please give a round of applause for the panelists. And we're going to take a 5-minute break and we'll be back with the Build-a-thon winners. Get a drink, get some snacks.
2-minute time check. 2-minute time check. Based Around the World, Chapter 1. How's everybody feeling? This is great. I just had some coffee. Coffee on chain, soon to be on base. It's a little late for coffee, but you know, I'm gonna get hyped for the Build-a-thon section. How's everybody doing? Enjoying some good food, some good drinks. Good drinks? Nice. So, when we checked everybody in, a lot of y'all were setting up a new smart wallet. This mic's pretty hot for what it's worth. Maybe a little bit less mic. It was very interesting and nice to see people going on, and I wanted everybody, we'll do a little exercise as we get started here. Go to keys.coinbase.com, and in your wallet, you should now see your Based Around the World, Based Africa NFT. Because I remember some of y'all weren't seeing it yet, so indexing had an index, and now that that's indexed, you can see it. So you'll have 0.001 Ether, and a Based Around the World, Based Africa NFT. And that's the very first NFT for Based Around the World. So go to keys.coinbase.com. You can see your smart wallet balance. You can see your Ether. You can see your NFTs. And that's a good thing, I hope. All right. So we're going to get into sharing who are the winners for the Build-a-thon. This is going to be exciting. You know, and really can't say enough about all the great builder energy that we saw over On-Chain Summer earlier this year. So many great projects came from Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, other countries, very impactful. And like Jesse talked about, you know, we wanted to go back, take it global this autumn. So it's a continuation. And you know, we wanted to really connect with all the different builders, including in Africa, and that's why we started right here. So we ran 4 regional build-a-thons. Hey, pay attention, I'm going to quiz you guys later on this. We ran 4. That's Based Africa, Based India, Based Latin America, and Based Southeast Asia. So this was the starting point here tonight in Nairobi. So we co-presented, let's get a round of applause for our co-presenters and our sponsors that helped make this Build-a-thon and tonight possible, very special. And here's some of the great faces tonight. Some were on stage. Really can't say enough about all the great builders that contributed. If you see your face up here, or even if you don't, if you're here tonight, you're based. Big round of applause. Woo! All right. Very important. Too many to name, but amazing energy and really, really exceptional. So, I know many of you are waiting and on the edge of your seat to see the winners. And we also just want to say as we get into it, truly, if you build, if you participate, everyone is a winner if you're building on base, and we're going to continue bringing the world on chain, per usual. So, quick little update. For each of the regional build-a-thons, we put up 30 each, 5 of which was for the community votes, and 25 of which was for the core 2 to 10 winners. So now, without further ado, a drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Air horn, our winners. Let's see a big round of applause. Let's see a big round of applause. So we'll talk a little bit about each of them. See some of the faces out here in the crowd that are our builders. So first up, in no particular order, was Base Sessions. So Seth and Benny, are you in the crowd? Come up, come up. We're going on-chain, summer build-a-thon. We're going on-chain, summer build-a-thon. DeFi dreams to the DAOs. Hey, nice. Amazing. All right, so the project for this build-a-thon is about bringing music and emerging artists on-chain. Just share what inspired y'all to build this project on Base. Share just a little bit about what the inspiration was for you.
Thank you so much, thank you. At the back side of the city in Abuja, Nigeria, we had a Jambox, a very cheap Jambox at that, a microphone and a laptop. And from that moment, we transitioned from making music in an environment that took advantage of us for years and years of making music off-chain, maximizing the platform that Base provided and the opportunity that it provided through the Build-a-thon. We moved on to making music on-chain that rewarded us many more times beyond what we have ever received off-chain.
And that's why we came up with the initiative based session, which is basically to help onboard creatives and bridge the gap between off-chain and on-chain, helping creatives like us on-chain to be able to create value and get rewarded for it.
Amazing. And I heard a rumor that one of y'all's next single is going to be on chain with Tyler. Is this true? Is this true? You were in here first. All right. Thank you, Seth and Benny, so much. Thank you for participating. Thank you for your leadership. It's very base sessions. Our first winners. Awesome. All right, let's keep it moving. So, next up we have Base Pay for connecting African communities to the global economy for more opportunities. So, Chibutu, are you here? Come up on stage. Come up on stage. Get up. Nice. And we're gonna just share a little bit of your thoughts about what inspired you to build Base Pay.
Thank you so much.
Woo! Round of applause.
Yes, thank you. Okay, yeah. So we're figuring what the best way was to like have normies, those that don't care about crypto, how can they receive local currency, but then they want to receive local currency from global players, right? And so we figured out how can we get people linked addresses in 2 minutes. You sign up with your email, you get a linked address. What a linked address is basically a blockchain address that's connected to your bank account. It can be connected to your M-Pesa, your Safaricom, or your Nigerian bank account, or Kenyan bank account. When anyone sends you stablecoin to that address, in seconds you get it in your bank account or your Safaricom. So you can even try it now, this paid or link, and it works.
I love it. Love the 2 minute KPI. That's a great one. Thank you so much. Cheers.
I had to come up.
Yes.
Thank you. I love Base Pay.
Thank you so much.
It's epic.
Keep building. Very based. Awesome. There we go. Yes. All right. We'll keep it moving. So the Unbound Project. Yes, that's right. Alamode, if you're here, come up on stage.
Yeah.
This is all about helping bring businesses on chain in Africa. So. Great work, sir. Share a little bit more, please.
All right.
And scan this QR code while you speak.
I'm saying a very big thank you to Base Africa. I couldn't have achieved this without my team members, Daniel Gawa and Fola Shadi. I really could have been here. And our project was bringing small business owners to Base. So we have digital artists. I mean, AI has taken people's projects, people's work out. You can go on, you can get any picture you want on AI now. But then digital artists, when they create, when they put their platform, now they can put it on Base, they can mint it, and then they can also get paid using Zora. And so we onboarded a digital artist, yeah, and then through Zora. And then we also have small business owners, because I'm from Nigeria, and then we have people who have small businesses. We have people who have been duped, who have sent fake alerts. What else? Who have taken loans and then they harass them. And then they were so eager when we were onboarding them and we showed them a fast and reliable platform. And so yeah, this is where we were. And these are my team members, Daniel and Indy, where we're explaining to customers. And they love the idea. And then did a documentary highlighting their problem and also bringing them on board through it. Thank you.
Bridging the gap between traditional finance and decentralized finance. Love to see it. Thank you. I love that t-shirt too. Look, Base name on his t-shirt. Send in UCC. All right. Next up, Aza DeFi. Aza DeFi. Too cool? Get up here. Get in the WhatsApp group chat. You guys know what it is. So this is a great opportunity to grab a mic over here. Scan this QR code. Get up in the group chat. Share a little bit more about what inspired you to build Aza.
All right. So for us, we were basically solving like a user experience problem, basically, right? So I've built for like a couple of non-technical founders, built exchanges for OTC guys, and realized that like there's a huge gap between like understanding what to do and actually like doing it. So we thought about building like a full exchange and a wallet to transact well on WhatsApp. So we use WhatsApp because WhatsApp is basically like the easiest messaging platform. Also one of the most popular, right? And leveraging on that, we can just make onboarding as easy as possible. So everyone knows how to send a message, everyone knows how to text. So if you know how to send a message, you should be able to know how to do transactions and use the blockchain. That was the rationale behind doing this. And we also took the initiative of basically like abstracting every user experience puzzle we could think about from the layer to make sure that I want to send money from A to B. All I have to do is send a message to the bot like I'm talking to my fellow person, and that's all. On and off ramping, bridging, and basically transactions on the blockchain. That's basically it. Thank you.
I love it. I'm sensing a theme here. Let's get another round of applause for Ozzy DeFi. A theme here around onboarding, making it simple. Sure, you could make a web app, but you could also do something right in the platform, right in the channel where people already are. WhatsApp. That's creative. That's great. Let's see more of it. All right, so next up we've got RideBase. So let's hear a big round of applause for RideBase. Yeah, so check it out. Think about it, connecting the IRL ride-sharing needs with the URL on-chain technology. And the idea here is connect riders so that they can earn with drivers who need a ride from point A to B, the occasional C. Making connections IRL, URL. Big round of applause for RideBase. I don't believe they're with us tonight, but they're with us in spirit. All right, keeping it moving. Flex Club. So we really like Flex Club. You know, the idea around coordinating with a group of friends or acquaintances to save, earn, find more opportunities to earn interest through USDC. And see this nice little, get your base name, that's the center of your on-chain identity, so that's kind of a nice build on. By the way, you know, we didn't do a poll. Actually, Jesse maybe did a poll. Let's do it again. How many people has a base name here? Let's see a show of hands. All right, and if you don't have a base name, you'll get one for free for coming to the event tonight. So make sure you all do that too from your smart wallet. All right, let's keep it moving. Afrobase, something really unique. Let's hear a big round of applause for Afrobase. We're gonna watch a little movie. We're gonna see if this works. Connecting people to the on-chain community through traditional cultural elements like Yoruba dance and symbols. So let's just watch a little bit of this video here, guys. There's subtitles. Mint this. Scan this QR code. Mint this on Zora, on base. Minting now. Everybody mint. Big round of applause for Afrobase. Even if you don't write software, there's an opportunity to connect with people on chain. We want to encourage more and more of that. Again, that's people onboarding. All right, let's keep it moving. Lendbit. Lendbit's an interesting one here. Let's see a big round of applause for Lendbit. No middlemen. Peer-to-peer lending with a couple of interesting mechanics that they added on base. Again, couldn't be here with us tonight, but let's hear one more round of applause for Lendbit, another of our base winners tonight. Oh, all right. So this one is very interesting. Delar. Let's hear a big round of applause for Delar. Few interesting things here. I like, interesting UI UX, pretty cool looking app. Some really interesting Solidity smart contract mechanics that are written in here as part of Delar. And then when you think about it, this is an important problem. Even some of my, let's say, on-chain skeptic friends see the possibility for real estate, deeds, titling, land registries to come on-chain and to solve some of those old problems in ways just now becoming possible with crypto, with on-chain, with smart contracts, of course, on base. So this is another one. And then one final project that we want to share tonight as a winner. It's Combat with a K. Combat with a K, let's hear a round of applause. It's Ken from Combat up here. Goodness, Ken. Scan. All right, Ken, tell us about your inspo for building Combat.
So, hi guys. Combat is a P2P wager platform and a prediction market platform as well. So it offers two functionality, the P2P wager and the prediction market. So when I say a P2P wager platform, what that basically means is For instance, if I want to challenge you into a physical activity, for instance, or if your football club is playing against mine, I can challenge you into a combat. And the smart contract will automatically deduct whatever it is that we are wagering on. Deduct from your wallet, deduct from my wallet, and at the end of the day, whoever comes out the winner is going to send the whole money through. And as for the prediction market, the prediction market is basically talking about you, more than two people betting on an outcome of an event. So it could, for instance, be the upcoming presidential election. You can bet against Kamala Harris, you can bet against Donald Trump. So that's just the basic idea behind it. Thank you guys.
Who doesn't love a good peer-to-peer combat battle? Classic. All right. So one more round of applause for our winners that participated. And really importantly, the judges and the judging process. Very, very difficult. I know. I wasn't a judge myself, but speaking with the judges, quite difficult to choose these projects because there were so many base submissions. And so really everybody that participates tonight, we want to give a huge shout out to and a show of gratitude for building on base, for sharing what the technology can do, what it can do for our economies, for our communities. We want to support you. You'll be getting an NFT from DevFolio for your participation in this first Base Around the World Build-a-thon. And please do go to base.org/getstarted for new ways and more ways that we can support you to continue growing your project, scaling it, learning. We're here to help, whether it's from a technical standpoint, from a go-to-market standpoint. We really want to connect with y'all. So go here or find one of us tonight. We'll connect on Telegram and keep making it happen together. So one more time, a big round of applause for all the base out for everybody joining here tonight. And now I'm going to hand it off to Jesse to take us home with just a couple final comments. Closing remarks. Just close it out, Jesse. People want to hear from you.
Hello, everybody. First off, I just want to say thank you all for being here. What an incredible treat. I also, raise your hand if you are from Nairobi or live in Nairobi. Yeah, tune up for Nairobi. What city? Come on. Okay, now raise your hand if you are from Kenya and you travel to be here. Yeah, oh yeah, we got some people over here. Raise your hand if you're from another country and you travel to be here. Okay, where we got? We got Nigeria. Do we have Nigeria in the room? Okay, see some. What about Tanzania? I know there's Tanzania and Zanzibar. Yeah, in the back. Okay, what else do we have? Anyone from Ghana? Ghana, yeah, there we go. We got one. South Africa? No. Rwanda? Uganda? Yeah, Uganda? What about Rwanda? No. Okay. Anyone else? Did I miss anyone else? Tanzania. We got one more from Tanzania. Nice. Woo! For everyone who traveled from a long way away, it means the world to me and to the base team and to everyone who's here that you took the time out of your weekend, your Monday or Tuesday to show up. Because the first step of building is deciding to show up. And everyone in this room, whether you're a developer or a creator or a community builder, all of you took the first step. And that's because you're here, you took the first step. And so I guess if I could leave you all with one ask and one call to action, it would be don't stop there. This on-chain economy is not going to build itself. And it's not going to be something that I can build or the base team can build or any one company can build. It's something that's going to require all of us from different countries, from different cities, from different communities, from different cultures, with different languages, coming together on this new incredibly powerful technology platform, the platform of on-chain, coming together and building the future. And so I hope you leave this event with a new friend, with a new connection, with a new idea, with a new skill, with a new perspective, and you use that newness to build something incredible. Whether that's an app, or your creativity, or your community, or something else entirely that I can't even understand yet. So thank you again for being here. Keep building and stay based. Have a great night, everyone.